Greetings, programs. Greetings, Cocoa Nuts. I'm the original gamer, Stevie Stroh, and we are back for Chapter 21 in Programming in Basic on the Color Computer. Chapter 21 is called Draw the Line Somewhere. And I'm really looking forward to jumping into this chapter because this is a command I used a lot a long time ago. And unfortunately, I don't remember most of it. So I'm really looking forward to refamiliarizing myself with the draw command. The draw command is a very powerful, very flexible way to draw things on the screen. And I use this quite a bit. I use this to create stick figure characters, and I use this to create fonts and text that I could put on the screen. I use the draw command to draw a lot of different things. And so we're going to go through this chapter. This chapter is somewhat of a long chapter too, so this might be a long video. I may decide to edit this video and break it into pieces. I may just let it roll. We'll just have to wait and see how it goes. I'll probably get confused once or twice during the filming of this, and that's okay. It won't be the first time, won't be the last. So let's jump in, let's start reading it, and let's see what it has to say here. Draw the line somewhere. You already know how to create lines, ellipses, and boxes. Now, how would you like to learn a shortcut for doing some of those things? The shortcut is draw, which lets you draw a line or a series of lines by specifying a direction, an angle, and a color, all in the same program line. Here is the syntax of draw. So we have to say draw line. And line is a statement. It's a string expression that may include the following motion commands, modes, and options. And it will draw a shape on your graphic screen. So if I say draw M, it moves the cursor in the position that we are facing. If I say U, it'll change the direction to up. If I say D, it changes it to down. If I say L, it goes left. If I say R, it goes right. And then we have our different angles. So E is a 45-degree angle. F is a 135-degree angle. G would be a 225-degree angle. And then H is a 315-degree angle. So it's kind of like the diagonal coordinate. So you can basically draw things like a cross, up, down, left, and right. And you've got your 4 diagonals between those cross points. The X says to execute a substring and then return, and then we can change modes. We can change the color of what we're drawing as we're drawing it. We can change the angle of how we're drawing things. So you could actually take a command to have something be drawn, and then you can rotate the angle of how you're drawing it. You can change the scale. So you can draw something and then have it kind of zoom in and zoom out. Then there are some options we can use with the draw command. N is no update of the draw position, and B is to draw a blank line because we kind of need to move the position over somewhere else on screen. So we might skip a few pixels by moving over blank in a certain direction and then picking things up again. And then it says note, if line is a string constant, you must enclose that in quotes. Always insert the B option before the move option command, otherwise unwanted lines may appear on your screen. Hopefully some of this will make more sense as we go through the demonstrations. So it says, earlier you learned how to create a box using line. To do this, you may have had to do some difficult figuring with the graphic screen worksheet to locate the necessary start and end points of your box. With draw, you only have to locate the start point and then tell the computer in which direction to draw and how far to do so. If you omit the start point, the computer starts to draw at the last position. Or if you haven't previously used the draw command, it will automatically start drawing at the center of the screen. Okay, use your lines program to try out draw. Delete line 30 and change it to this. Now in mine, I think mine was actually called X. Load X. Maybe not. I don't even know. X is one that draws the box. All right, so I'm not sure if that's exactly the one. Let's list out the code. So we're doing P mode 3, 1, 5 is P mode 3, 1, 10 is PCLS, 20 is screen 121. Okay, I'm going to delete line 25. I'm going to delete line 30. And then it wants me to add this line here. It wants me to add a line 25 that says draw, comma, BM for blank move 128, comma 96. That's specifying move to that position, which is kind of the center of the screen. BM 128, comma 96, blank move to center of screen. Then I'm going to go up 25, right 25, down 25, and left 25. And I'm going to end the quote. So what should happen here is it should go to the absolute center position. It should go up 25 pixels, right 25 pixels, down 25 pixels, and left 25 pixels. So it should draw a box kind of just off center of the screen. Right. So that's what that did. You use your lines program to try out draw. Delete line 30 and type this in. Presto! Can you guess why the square's lower left corner is at 128, 96? Look at the first two numbers inside the quotes. The motion command M tells the computer at which point or later to begin drawing. So when we do M with a height H, V, horizontal, vertical, it tells the computer which point to start drawing. V is H is the horizontal position, which is 0 to 255. V is the vertical position, which is 0 to 191. It says always preface M by the letter B if you do not want unwanted lines to appear. So you have to put a B in front of M. So BM means blank move, which it'll just move to that position without drawing a line. If I had not done that, and we could probably test that theory right now, if I was to edit 25 and I hit D to delete the BM, delete the B in front of that, well, in this case here, since it already starts in that position, it kind of doesn't matter. But if I was somewhere else, it would have mattered. Okay, edit 25. I'm going to insert the B again. Okay, so what we've just learned here really quickly is by using the draw statement, I can specify a starting coordinate on the screen and specify directions to draw and how far to go in each direction. That number is a distance of pixels. And we haven't specified an exact color, so I'm believing it's just using the highlighted colors right now, the default foreground color, which happens to be the highest color on the screen. Pretty cool stuff. Okay. The above program tells your computer to start drawing at position 128, 96, which is exact center. It draws up 25 points, right, down, left, and right 25 points. Finally, it says if you omit the line's length, the computer uses 1 as the length. Now it says setting the square on edge, drawing diagonal lines. Instead of drawing horizontal vertical lines, stand the square on one of its corners. To do this, substitute E, F, and G for upright, left, and down. So we're going to E, F, G, and H. Okay. So we're going to substitute that command with E, F, G, and H. So as we go over here and we list out line 25, and we edit line 25, so the first one, instead of going up, we're going to change that to E. The next one we're going to change to F. Next one we're going to change to G. This one we're going to change to H. And we run it now. We've basically drawn a diamond, right? So we're starting in the same position, but we're going in the different diagonal corners. So we went up diagonal, down diagonal, left diagonal, down, left diagonal, up, right? So it just kind of went around and drew a diamond. And these are the basic directions you can draw. Again, it's up, down, left, right, and then the 4 diagonal corners between the up, down, left, and right. Kind of cool. Do-it-yourself program 21-1. You already know your computer is the star of the show, but can you prove it by drawing a star? Use the draw motion command for both the perpendicular and diagonal lines. We're being challenged to draw a star. Let's see if we can do that. So where are we going right now? Right now we're already drawing a star. Okay. How do we want to do this? So we got these points. We gotta go. Well, I'm gonna be thinking out loud right now as I edit 25. The first two things go top point, bottom point. I need to now go right 25, and then I think I need to go left 75, if I'm not mistaken. And let's see what that looks like so far. I think I need to go more than 75 over, so it actually needs to be edit 25. Instead of left 75, it's going to be left 100. As I draw that now, I've gone up, down, I've gone over to the right, I've gone over to the left. That's part of my star, right? Why am I having a hard time figuring out? So, you know what I'm going to do? Let's start the whole thing over. Let's do line 25. We're going to say draw BM 0, 191, and that is the bottom left-hand corner. Now I'm going to go diagonally all the way to the top. Is that what I want to do? No. And then I want to go E. Let's just try E100 and let's see where that takes me. That takes me there. Yeah, that's about good enough. I'm kind of confused on what I'm doing right now. So let's edit 25 and let's move it over to, let's change that to position 80. All right, now we're going up. That's too far. All right, this is going to be a pain in the ass. All right, so let's change that to 40. Okay, up. Not bad. Now we need to go. I don't like how precise these angles are. These angles are not good for a star because a star is not exactly that way. Crap. Start over. All right, 25. Draw. BM 128, 96. That is the this top center. All right. Let's just start going in those fricking directions. What were the fricking directions right now? We're gonna go E25. That's gonna go. Let's see where that goes. I don't even know where the hell that goes. That's going the wrong way. I want to go down, so it's E, F. That needs to actually go F. This is the part that's screwing with me. F25. Let's run that. That's going down. Okay. Now, we need to go edit 25. We need to go now right 25. And then we're going to go, we need to go, is it G? 100? I don't know. Kind of, sort of. Yeah, kind of, sort of. So it's not 100 now. Let's try 25. This is an ugly star. This is a very ugly star, but we're getting the idea. Screw you and your freaking do-it-yourself stuff, book. We're now going to do F25 again. And then we need to go up like E50. No, going the wrong way. It would be... I'm not getting these. I need to draw a freaking chart right now. I swear to God. This is like... Alright, so I'm going to draw this out because I'm going to get lost. Okay. So I know what my up, down, left, right is, right? Up, down, left, right. What is the next symbol? So the next symbol becomes E, which is that one. F is that one. G becomes this one, and H becomes that one. I had to draw out that little frickin' thing because I'm losing my frickin' mind here. All right, so we're going to edit 25. We're going to exit out to the end. So I need to go up. That becomes H. Let's see how that works. So that's a problem. This is a problem with this theory in the star. You know what? Frickin' stars suck. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do an easy star. I'm going to do the Star of David. All right, so 25. Edit 25. That's just two triangles. All right. So where do I need to go? I'm going to draw a triangle first. So I'm going to go down to I'm going to do like an F50, left 100, and then if my math is right, then we're going to go E50. Let's see how that goes. There's my perfect freaking triangle. Okay. Now, I'm not exactly sure where the next triangle is going to be. So let's just say line 30, I'm going to draw BM 128, comma, 96 minus 50 is 46. So it's actually 128 minus 50. Ah, crap. 128 minus 50 is what? 128 minus 20 is 108. Minus 30 is 78. So we got 78, comma, let's say 106. I'm guessing. We're going to go right 100. Let's see where that takes me. That's not bad. And then we can maybe adjust that if necessary. Okay. Now I need to list that out. List out 30. Now we're going to go to my bottom left is G50. My up left is H50. Let's see if that works. That works pretty okay. Curse you and your freaking star challenge for me, because things are so freaking absolutely absolute that I don't know. It was giving me a headache, but I drew a damn star, and it's a Star of David. So shalom and mazel tov to you all. L'chaim. So there we have it. And screw you and your damn challenges, chapter 21. All right. So draw a line somewhere. We did it. We did it. Oh my God, that's giving me a headache. But now that I drew my little chart here, let me show you my freaking chart right here. All right. So these are the directions, right? So up, down, left, right, E, F, G, and H. Those are the different points. So I had to kind of draw out that little cheat sheet because I was getting confused. He was confusing me. In chapter 21, set the square on edge. We did all that crap. Do it yourself, 21. You know how to draw it. How about drawing a star? Use the motion commands for both perpendicular and diagonal lines. Yeah. Okay, sure. Now, absolute motion or movement versus relative movement. Suppose you draw a square and then you want to draw another one nearby. You know exactly how far away you want this second square to be, but don't want to have to locate those coordinates. All right, so you know that, all right, we've already drawn something. I've ended up over here. I just want to go over 15 pixels and draw another one. Another form of the M command is to specify relative motion instead of absolute motion. So far, you've used absolute motion where you had to specify the points in terms of their coordinates, h, comma, v. Using relative motion, you can specify points in relation to the current point, which is the point last drawn. So, here's the syntax for relative motion. My head is going to explode. So I have a y sine h offset, comma, v offset. This lets you specify y sine. I don't know what you mean by y sine. So it's bm plus 15, comma, minus 15. Okay. Okay, so y sine h offset v offset lets you specify points relative to the current position. H offset is a distance to move horizontally from the current position. If you proceed it with a plus sign, the h position increments. If you proceed it with a minus sign, it decrements. I don't know. V offset. So we have an h offset and a v offset. V offset is the distance of that. Okay. For example, Okay. All right. So, for example, if you wish to create a second box at the position relative to the first box in the redefine lines program, you might add this line. Of course, I don't have it anymore because I've already freaking done it. What's the next do-it-yourself program? After this heated activity, you've probably ready to cool off. So why not use draw to create an ice cube? Okay. Well, I don't know. Okay. How about we do this? I have to recreate the first box. So delete 25, delete 30. All right. So 25 was originally draw BM 128, 96, right 25, down 25, left 25, up 25, if I'm not mistaken. That was the stupid command. Okay, so we did that. So now it's saying, why not add this line here? Draw BM plus 15, 15, up 25, right 25, down 25, left 25. When the computer executes line 30, the draw's the current position is 128.96, which is the last draw position in line 25, so it's the lower left-hand corner. So let's try that. So when I do that, I just drew another box that was 15 pixels away from my last box. Although I'm not understanding why it's in midair like that, because I went right, down, left, up. Okay. Then I right, down, left, up. So my last position should have still been back at 128, 96. So then it says do a BM plus 15, which is on the X, and comma 15, which is on the Y, although I'm not quite sure I'm following that logic. When the computer executes line 30, the draw position is 128.96, which is the last draw position in line 25. So the lower left corner of your new square, the lower left corner of your new square is 238 plus 15, 96 plus 15, or 255, 111. I'm not following all this math and I'm getting a headache, and that's okay. So now it says change line 30 to do this. And maybe it's just because when I tried to do this from memory, yeah, that's why. That's why I did it backwards. So the way line 25 was originally drawn was draw. I went right when I should have gone up. So let's redo this the right way. So we're going to do up 25, right 25, down 25, left 25. That's the way it was originally drawn. And so now, since I drew here, and I went here, went down, so I went up. This is my starting point. So I went up 25, right 25, down 25, left 25. So then the command that I did now said move over 15 and move down 15, and that becomes the starting point, and then I'm going up. So it's basically going over 15, down 15, and then I'm drawing up again. So that's how I could draw the box off center from there. And it's already now starting to look like part of a three-dimensional cube as well. Kind of cool. Sorry, got confused on where the hell I was and what I was doing. Not the first time, won't be the last. Okay, so we did that. We did the diagonal. We did absolute versus relative. And now it says change line 30 as follow. So this was the first one that we did. So now it wants me to do it this way in line 30, and says draw BM plus 15, minus 15, which is the Y offset. Up 25, right 25, down 25, left 25. What is that going to do? It moved it up higher. So when I first started drawing, I started drawing here. I went up, down, I went up, right, down, left, and I ended up right where I started. Then it says go BM plus 15, which is about here, and then minus 15, which took me up, and then draw the same thing. So I can basically start to draw a box around this box in the various corners of the box. I am now back to what the book wants us to do. I'm slightly less confused. I can't even imagine what somebody who's watching this is thinking right now, other than I must be an idiot. Okay, so we did that. Now it says do-it-yourself program 21-2. All of this heated activity, you've probably ready to cool off. So why don't you use the draw to create an ice cube? You can generate the entire cube using draw, or you can incorporate a couple of line commands within the program. Try both absolute and relative positions. So here's what I'm thinking. I don't know what I'm thinking. So I need to draw diagonal lines at certain points. So let me see if I can figure this out. So the first thing I want to do is I actually want to do this. On line 30, I just want to go up diagonally, draw. I just want to go like E13. Let's see where that goes. That takes me up. Okay. Now, from here, I'm going to, because that's right where I left off, now I'm going to go up 25, and then I'm going to go down G 25. Let's see how that works. I might need to make that bigger. It's actually G13. Okay, so I'm going to go to 13 is roughly half of 25, right? G13, which goes in the downward direction, and then I need to go back up E26 to get right back where I started. I'm drawing my lines as I go. I went that way, I went up, I went that way. No, I don't need to go 26. I just need to go back right to where the hell I left off. What was I thinking? Okay, edit 30, extend, G13, E13 will take me right back to where I was. All right, so I went up at an angle, I drew part of a box, I went back as an angle, I went back up. Now I should be able to do right 25. Extend this, I can do right 25, which is then going to go to the right. Now I need to go down at the G angle of 13. So edit 30. I'm going to say I'm going to go G13 and then go in the opposite direction of E13 to go right back up. That should draw my third doohickey. Yep. Now I can go down 25. Edit line 30. I can go down 25. Yeah, I'm getting really confused and where this three-dimensional thing is really screwing with me. So now I'm going down. Now I need to go G and E again. Now I need to go G13, which is this way, and then E13, which takes me back. And then all I should have to do now is go left 25 to draw in the bottom of my cube. Okay, edit line 30. Now I can just say left 25. Now when I run this, boom, I've drawn a cube. Now the one challenge with this is that I use an odd number and I'm trying to figure out the diagonal distance is half of the width. And because I chose 25, I'm doing 13, so it might look a little bit different. If I did a 26 and 13, it might look a little better. But you get the general idea, and I was basically thinking out loud as I did this. And I'm actually glad I wrote down this chart here. I'm going to show you this chart one more frickin' time, because this is driving me crazy. Right, so these are your directions, up, down, left, right. We have E and G are the opposite corners, and H and F are the opposite corners of each other. And so depending on where you are, you got to go in the opposite direction and then come back up for your diagonals. I could have done a blank move and just blank move up, but I'm screwed. I'm just drawing the line right over itself each time. Why the hell not? right? So there's our cube. So that is do-it-yourself program 21-2. Let me save that. Let's do a save DIY 21-2. All right, we've saved it. Man, this is really making my head hurt. Tipping the scales. What if the figure you draw turns out to be too big or too small? The solution's easy. Your computer has a built-in function that lets you scale up or down your drawing. And so it is the letter S followed by a number of how big to make it. And so X is a number in a range of 1 to 62, and it indicates a scale factor in units of a quarter, shown here. So 1 is a quarter scale, meaning smaller. 2 is half scale. 3 is 3/4 scales. 4 is full scale. And then we have 5/4 scale is 125%. So each one of these is a factor of 25%. 8 is double, etc., etc. If you omit X, the computer uses, if you omit the scale and the number, the computer uses this as possible. If you draw an SX command, the computer scales all absolute relative motion commands accordingly until you enter another. Make and redefine your lines. Draw a single square again. Do this by deleting whatever. No, I'm not deleting anything, but what else do you want me to do here? Draw S2, which will be half of this. Okay. So if I just do this, if I just add line 23, if I just say at line 23, draw S2, that should shrink the scale in half. Yeah, and I did that as a separate line. I didn't even edit the lines because the computer is going to remember where it did things. So if I do 23, draw S3, that is 3/4 the size. That's a little bit bigger. If I say line 23, draw S4, that's full size. If I change that to 23 and say draw S5, 23, draw S5, that's going to be 1.25. It's going to be a little bit bigger. If I went all the way up to 23, draw S8, that's double size. Now my square is double size, and now it actually looks a little bit better because it's stretched out. So it's just doubling the factors. So it's either dividing or multiplying the directional positions by the scale offset. It's kind of cool. So yeah, I've just doubled the scale of that. And this is where you could start to get into some interesting things where you could draw different sizes on different pages and do switch screens and switch to different pages and do, remember how we did the yo-yo animation? You could maybe draw like 8 different size of these cubes on 8 different pages, and then cycle through the pages, and it would look like, if you went forward and backwards, it would look like the cube is growing and shrinking. That would actually be kind of a cool demo to run, which I won't do right now, but pretty cool, pretty cool. So introducing the S will allow us to scale what we are drawing. So now it's basically saying do scale to, which is half. Now it's saying see how small a large square can be. Run the following program. Next scale, draw scale, go to 50. Okay, so we're gonna type in a brand new program. So 5 P mode 4,1, 10 PCLS, 20 screen 1,1, 25 for scale equals 1, 2 for scale equals, I'll get this equals one of these freaking times, equals 1 to 62. Okay, 30 S strings equals S equals quote S plus str strings scale plus quote semicolon quote. What is this doing? It's creating a string that starts with the letter S for scale It's then taking the numeric variable of scale, which, by the way, it's only reading the first two letters of SC. So SC is going to start at 1 and then go to 2 and then go to 3 and go to 4. But because the draw command, everything has to be a string, we have to convert the numeric variable to a string variable. So then we're converting the numeric variable scale to a string variable, and then we're also putting a semicolon at the end. So the first time this runs, it's going to say S1 semicolon, then it'll say S2 semicolon, and so on. That's what this one's doing. So now line 35 says draw S string plus BM10, 100, meaning move over to position 10, down 100, and then we're going to go up 20, right 20, down 20, left 20. We didn't even put semicolons in between there. 40 says next scale. 50 says go to 50. Let's run it. Let's see what happens. Line 20 should say screen with a C. Screen 1, 1. Okay. Ooh. That is trippy. That was drawing boxes, and they kind of then started going up and then going back down again. That's interesting. Let's turn off the artifacting for just a second here. Very 3D MC Escher-esque looking here right now. You see how your scale of a square can be. Run this following program. Let me make sure I didn't mistype anything in my code. So in line 35, it's saying draw BM 10, 100. It's not doing the semicolons here, but I'll do it. Insert semicolon, up arrow, just for clarity. Up 20, right 20, down 20, left 20. That's what it's asking us to do here. I'm not going to see anything different. Don't make the mistake of thinking that the smallest square is the one specified in line 35. The one we specified is fourth from the edge. Ah, right. So it's fourth from the edge. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the normal scale because size 1 is a quarter of that, size 2 is a half, size 3 is 3/4, size 4 is full size. This is the full size one, and then this is when it starts to expand from there. Now, what would have made this more interesting is if we did this in the center of the screen. So if I edit line 35 and I change, if I insert a 2, change, screw you, change this to an 8, 128, 1, we're going to delete that, change 9, change 6. This is dead center. What's this going to look like when we go dead center? It still has that weird effect. It is impossible to get this thing just right, and it's because we're starting at a point that's going in weird things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to modify this to center this because I'm crazy. That's why. So we're starting in dead center. So from dead center, I'm going to say go blank left 10, blank up 10, and then we're going to go right 20, down 20, left 20, up 20. Let's see how this works. Okay, this is now making it scale from the center, because before it was just bothering me, the fact that it was off center. So what I did is I started in the center point, I moved over 10 points, which is halfway, if your box is 20 pixels wide, I moved halfway over to the left, and then went another halfway up to the right, and then I went over 20, down 20, left 20, up 20, and I drew a box basically dead center in the screen based on a particular scale. And again, the first box is the 1/4 scale, half scale, 1/3 scale, 1 scale. So yeah, it's kind of interesting how you can mess around with the position of these things, and using the scaling, how you can make things grow. And so this might be kind of a cool title screen where if you were able to draw out like the name of a game like Defender or something like that, and then just have it like scroll up and zoom up on the screen. That might be kind of cool as a cool effect for a title screen. All right, very cool stuff. So the scaling, I'm going to save this and let's call it scales. Scaling is kind of neat. All right, color me. If we use draw with the C option for color, we can then specify different colors along the way. So what it wants us to do is to first use this command. First use the lines program. Oh crap, and I don't know what the hell the lines program is, so let's just do it over again. 5 P mode 3, 1 10 PCLS 20 screen 1, 1 30 draw scale 2 blank move position to 128, 96 up 25, right 25, down 25, left 25. Okay. End quote. Line 40 says go to 40. So when we run this, that was our first box. Okay. So let's save this as box. Let's save that. All right. Go back to the full scale letter by changing S2 to change 4 and then deleting S2. So it says you can either, so right now it's in scale 2. So when we run it, it's small. So now it's basically saying we can either go here. Oh, crap. How am I live streaming right now? All right. So right here we can, I have too many damn keys on my keyboard, and this is really causing a problem. I'm glad I'm still recording. Okay. What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm not in the right program. Okay. Edit 30. Okay, so we can either get rid of S2 or we can change it to S4, which is full size. There's our box. Okay. I need to change some of my keys on my keyboard when I record and stream because it's causing problems. All right, so now it says replace C6 in program line 30 with C8. I didn't even see a C anywhere. Run the program, does its okay. Go back to your full scale either by changing this and changing that. Then inside the first set of quotation marks, insert C6. There we go. All right. So when I go to 30, crap. Edit 30. All right. So instead of this, I'm going to change that to C, change that to 6. You suck. Edit 30. C6. Extend and quote. All right. Now when I run it, I've changed the color. So C6 is the magenta color. All right. Replace the C6 with C8 and did it change to orange? All right. So yes. So if I do a C6, you can see here that it is cyan. Now, if I edit line 30 and I change C6 to C8, that should change to color 8, which is orange. So it says make sure you replace this and you'll change the color. CX lets you specify the line's color, where X is a color from 0 to 8. If you omit X, the computer uses the foreground color. All right. Now, you can insert CX anywhere inside the draw statement, so all you have to do is follow the all actions follow are the color you specify. All actions that follow are the color you specify. For example, if we were to start off drawing in one color, we could change colors in mid thing. So right now I'm going to say we're going to start off with C8, and then we're going to insert a C6 right between the last two. So if I go to line 30 and I extend, we're going to, in here, I'm going to insert and do a C6 semicolon, shift up arrow, extend, shift up arrow, extend. Ah, shoot, this sucks. C6 semicolon, shift up arrow, extend. It's not freaking doing it. I don't know what the hell just happened here. Crap, line 30 just got screwed up. All right, let's do this over again. Draw C8. Okay, BM 128, 96, semicolon. Up 25, right 25, semicolon. change the C to 6, semicolon, down 25, left 25, end quote. That should draw a two-colored square. Yes, it just did. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing with my keyboard, but what can I tell you? All right, now, what is your angle? Another option available with the draw is A for angle. This option lets you specify the angle at which a line is to be drawn. After you include A in the draw command, the computer draws all subsequent lines with the angle displacement specified with AX until you specify otherwise. Okay, your program should now read this, okay, with the exceptions of the colors that you just fricking had me change, right? But now it's saying changed, okay, and we basically have four angles. We have 0, angle 0, which is 0 degree offset, which is normal. 1 is 90 degrees, which is shifted to the right. 180 is shifted down. 270 is shifted left. So let's try that. Let's try that right now. So we're going to say, okay, line 25 for angle equals 0 to 3. Angle strings equals A plus str strings angle plus quote semicolon draw angle strings. Let's list this. Line 35 is going to be next angle. What I should end up having here is I just drew the box 4 times at all the various angles. So the first time it drew it starting here at angle 0, then it did it at angle 1, then angle 2, and angle 3. So I just did a 4 next loop and I changed the angle as I drew it, and I drew it in 4 different directions. Now, it would be really cool if we had 360 degree ability where we could make something like rotate around a circle. That would be kind of cool. These are kind of hard right angles, but it's still kind of cool that I took the thing and redrew it, and you can see that some of these things are actually overlapping the other ones, because the last one drawn is the one that has the fully two-colored two-half doohickeys. Some of these guys are getting overwritten by the other commands. So yeah, you can specify the angle, and so I basically just kind of cheated and I used the same logic they used in the scale command, where you are scaling and drawing in different scales. I use that same kind of hack there to do a 4 next loop and change through the angles and wrap that into a string and draw that way. All right, kind of cool. All right, to illustrate this, change this program. Well, I've already illustrated it, so screw you. All right, just shooting blanks. Okay, if you want the next line to draw to be blank or an invisible line, use the B option. I think we've kind of demonstrated that. Now, what is your do-it-yourself program 21-3? Print your name on the screen using the draw. This means you'll have to stay on the graphic screen. It would be easier to write your name in the text screen, but you can stay true to your thing. Another draw feature is the N for no update option. N tells the computer to return to its original or current position after the draw is the next line. Want more options? We can do a no update. Use the draws option. Use the draws N option in circle. Have the computer draw a pie that has 8 pieces. Once you've done that, cut out a piece of the pie and put it over on one side. You are screwing with me right now. I am not even going to try that. My brain can't even process that. So I'm going to probably want to take a break. My God, the do-it-yourself programs just won't end. All right, so here's what I'm going to do right now. We are going to pause chapter 21 because there's a lot to absorb here. I'm going to stop recording right now. We're not done, but I'll do another recording which will be figuring out how to do one of your do-it-yourselves, which is to draw your name on the screen. That will be interesting to do. That should be relatively easy to do if I just draw Steve. I'll figure that out. Do we want to try to draw a pie? That might be interesting too. By the way, these little do-it-yourself exercises, while they are kind of brain strainers, and for me to actually think this stuff up gives me a headache, they actually give you codes in the back of the book, so you could kind of cheat and go and look and see what they want you to do. But part of the fun is trying to do it yourself. But yeah, I'm thinking that right now, this chapter is giving me a headache, honestly. There's a lot to absorb. I'm kind of absorbing it, but I'm kind of like getting a headache and stressing myself out. So I am going to just stop, and we're going to leave this one as it is. So 21's not done. But let's just read the summary of what it says here, and we're going to try to chew on this and digest it. So you can draw visible lines, you can draw invisible blank lines, you can draw scaling, you can draw colors, you can return to your original position, you can draw string variables, and we can execute a second draw in the middle of the first draw. So yeah, there's a lot to soak in here. Draw is a very powerful command. I'm gonna just try to do things kind of easy, but it might be interesting to see what we can do with draw command and what we can draw and how we can scale it. So right now, the last thing that we covered was angles, right? So you got a couple different angles here, and your angles are 0, 1, 2, and 3, right? So you can basically turn on right angles. We'll try to illustrate that some more, and maybe when we're done, maybe we'll take the demo of our name, we'll draw our name, and we'll have it do things like scaling and zooming and rotating and stuff like that, just for craps and giggles. All right, so that's it. My head is taking all of that it can take right now, so I'm gonna take a break, and we'll be back another day with another continuation on chapter 21 using draw. Hopefully this wasn't anywhere near as confusing for you as it was for me, but I'm getting it, and I'll feel better after I've had a chance to walk away, digest, let it marinate, come back fresh. All right, guys, we'll see you next time. Peace out. Keep on gaming, keep on CoCoing, keep on coding, keep on programming. Basic is the new whatever. All right, bye-bye now.